translate the words that are in bold into student speak.
Knuckling down to a new term, but what most of these pupils in Blackpool probably don't realise is that their school and many others like it are struggling to make ends meet.
So last year was the first time in 18 years that we've had an in-year deficit budget at St Mary's.
The executive head teacher who oversees St Mary's, amongst other schools, is also part of a national heads round table and told me the situation is dire because there just isn't enough money in the education system.
When you're talking to head teachers now, they're saying there's nothing left in the pot. And that they're beginning to cut, and those cuts could come that they simply haven't been able to afford to make repairs to schools. I've been in schools with buckets in the corridors. We ourselves have managed to get 2 senior leaders promoted out of the school, but neither have we replaced them. Staff, sometimes support staff who leave, we have to wait a month or 2 to replace, with then children not getting the support they require.
Half of all secondary academies are spending more money than they have coming in. For local authority maintained secondaries, that figure rises to 64%, or nearly 2/3. And many simply don't have the money to spend. Nearly 1/3 of local authority secondary schools are already in deficit. Their average debt is close to £500,000.
While many secondary schools are struggling to fund more costly yet crucial provisions like the teaching staff themselves or support or special needs staff, more and more are also relying on parents or the teachers themselves to fund smaller yet still crucial provisions like stationery, for example. And while this may only make a small contribution to an increasingly large gap in school funding, it is significant to show the level of difficulties that some schools are facing.
But the Department for Education says across all types of state schools, more than 90% had broken even, and funds just need to be spent more effectively.
We've seen an increase in funding for every pupil in every school in terms of the money we're giving to local authorities. And of course, schools do have to be efficient. Taxpayers expect that. And that's why we're helping schools, particularly those schools that are running a deficit.
Head teachers, however, say that unless politicians accept there are insufficient funds in schools, a generation of children could miss out on the education they deserve. Catherine Jacob, 5 News, Blackpool.